Hello and welcome to the WriteCome.com podcast, where we help you to make money from your words. Each episode will be sharing tips, tricks, and strategies you can use to make more money from your writing, publishing, and marketing to your fans and audience. Let's get started with your host, Barry J. McDonald.
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very welcome to today's podcast episode from WriteCome.com. And today's podcast episode is entitled Record Your Progress. Now, I think I did mention this a long time ago, in that one of the great ways for coming up with content ideas for podcasts, for blogs, for social media platforms is to record your progress. You know, you may think to yourself, well, you know, where I am right now, maybe this is my very first book, I haven't really done much, or I only have 10 followers on Twitter, or I only have a small number of this or small number of that. And you probably are looking at yourself in that way, in that you are saying to yourself, well, you know, I'll probably start recording my progress when I have 1,000 followers on Twitter, and I'll probably start recording my progress when I have 10 books in the Kindle store, or I will record my progress when I'm making maybe $10,000 a month, and from that point on I will record my progress. But I'm here to tell you, maybe just to knock that idea on the head and actually start from where you are right now. Now, I'm sure a lot of us have seen the Rocky movie, and it's one of my favourite movies that I go back to. If it's on TV, I don't find any problem with just sitting down and watching it again and again, even though I have seen it numerous times. But one of the best parts of the Rocky movie is the montage. You know, it's where Rocky is beaten down. It's where he, you know, it looks like, you know, he's never going to be able to face the champion or whatever. So he knows that if he's going to do that, he needs to hit the gym. So we have him running around in his ripped up, you know, tracksuit. We have him racing down the street with the kids. We have him racing chickens. We have the clips of him getting up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and he's drinking raw eggs out of the fridge. And we have all of those things, and we have that montage. And that montage for me is one of the best parts of the Rocky movie, because we can see where he has started off from whatever low position he was at up to the point where he walks into the ring. And unfortunately, a lot of people who we all admire, people who we would all aspire to be, we only see them at the moment they step into the ring. We haven't seen all the backstory. We haven't seen all the times they doubted themselves, all the maybe the things that they tried in the past, maybe the fiction book that they wrote that was a complete flop, or that idea for a product that went nowhere, or that blog that was totally useless and, you know, was a complete waste of time. We don't see all those kind of hurdles they have crossed to get to that point. We just see that moment when they are getting into the ring. You know, if you take someone like J.K. Rowling for a moment, if you can imagine if she had whatever, a smartphone or whatever, on the very first day where she wrote her first Harry Potter book, or the idea of Harry Potter came into her head, if she spoke into a camera from that moment on and recorded her thoughts, you know, this is how Harry Potter came about, this is where the idea of Dumbledore came about, this is how I came up with this idea for the book, and this is where I am right now, you know, and maybe showing what her background, her lifestyle was like, maybe just living in, you know, a 1-bedroom bedsit, or how you know, how rough her time was, and what her daily action was, and how she was sneaking a few minutes in every day, or how she was writing on the train, or how she had to go to the coffee shop because it was the only place that had internet access, whatever. But if you can imagine if she took that smartphone with her every day and recorded her progress, her diary every day, from that moment right up until, you know, the first Harry Potter book came out or it exploded in popularity, can you imagine how great it would be to just to go back through her life story, just to, because it's all documented there. We can see the very first moment when her, you know, Harry Potter came into her, I don't know what it was, an image, it was a dream or something, but that idea came to her. And then we can see all the moments when she doubted herself. We can see all the moments when she got rejection slips. We can see all the moments when she, you know, didn't think she was going to get anywhere with that book, didn't see whatever, maybe the second book, the third book, maybe she only saw Harry Potter as a one-off book. But we can follow her on that journey all the way from that moment where she started off all the way up to that point where she released that book. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was a budding writer, you know, it's very easy for us to look at the J.K. Rowlings or the Stephen Kings and all those people who have made it, and looking from where you are and say to yourself, you know, I couldn't get to where they are. They are light years ahead of me. But if you had, you know, a document series, videos, podcasts, images, all those different things where you can just go back through their history and just follow along with them. You can imagine how motivating that would be for you to know that they started off on the exact same point as you, that they had the same doubts as you had, that they had all those rejection slips, that they had nobody that believed in them. They probably doubted that the book was going to get anywhere, that it was a waste of time. But because they had documented all that, it's very, very easy for us to follow along, get courage from all that, that history, all that, information they put out there, and maybe start believing ourselves that, if they could do it from that low point where they were, then I can certainly do it here. And you could be the inspiration for somebody who follows you. You may say to yourself, well, I've only got 5 followers on Twitter today, or I only have, I'm still haven't completed my first book, or whatever it is. You may think that you are a low point, but there will be people who will probably start at that low point that you are in, and you could be the inspiration to them. So if you are creating content for any platform today, stop trying to polish it. Stop, put your content out there, warts and all, that you have your doubts about this book is going to be a success, or that you are trying something out and it's been a complete failure, or this idea came to you but you don't know where it's going to go, and just record all those thoughts, either as podcast episodes or just speaking into a camera, and just put it up on YouTube, put it up in whatever podcast platform you're working on, or put it on your blog, or put those thoughts up on Instagram today with an image of what your workstation is like today, that it's just simply it could be something like you could be working out of a coffee shop today, that you haven't got internet access today, or write all those different things and record it all. And again, that it's a great idea for not only creating content, but it's going to be the breadcrumbs that people are going to follow along with you behind, and you are going to be the inspiration that is in years to come, when somebody looks back at you and says, something, God, I remember the time when she had only 10 followers on Twitter, or he hadn't even finished his first book at that stage, or that idea for that book had only came to him. And it's going to be amazing for them people to look back on your history, and it's going to be amazing for you yourself looking back on your own history and seeing how far you've come from that point. A lot of us unfortunately don't appreciate how far we've come. But if you had a video from last year where you had nobody following you on Twitter, or you had doubts about your fiction writing, a year from now, this year, if you look back on that video, you'd probably be inspired to how far you've grown, how more mature you are, how you've grown up, how your craft has got better, how your followers have grown. It's easy for us to forget, all those points back in our past, because we are constantly looking forward. But sometimes, if you had that recorded material, it could be inspiration for you to keep you going and to motivate you to keep going today. So whatever platform you are on today, stop trying to put your polished work out there. Put some content that is warts and all, that you are failing, that nobody is following you on Twitter, and just be honest. Record all that, all those moments, and put them out there today, because you're going to inspire someone in the future. And again, even if nobody is inspired, you're going to inspire yourself when you look back at a year from now or 2 years from now, how far you've come, and it'll be the inspiration that'll keep you going. But it's nice to look back, not just yourself, your followers, but even your own family in the future. Your kids, your grandkids, or whatever could go on YouTube and they could follow your journey, how you grew into that fiction writer that we all know and love, or how that idea for that book came about, or how you built that business, or how you built that blog, or how you built that huge following. They can all be there, and they can be inspired by the story you leave behind you. So whatever you are on today, whatever platform it is, start putting some of your content in today, the warts and all, your failures, where you are right now. And as I said, this could be motivation for people in the future. But put all that content out there. As I said, the Rocky movies, they're brilliant, but my favourite parts are the montage, the parts where he's training out in the gym, he's chasing the chicken, he's running around in that ripped up uniform, that ripped up tracksuit, the kids are running down the street with him, he's drinking egg yolks out of the fridge. Those are great moments, because you can see how he's come from that moment up onto the point when he stepped into the ring. So as always, if you'd like to reach out to me, you can certainly send an email to barryjmcdonald@gmail.com, and I may cover that in the podcast episode, but feel free to reach out to me. That is my own personal email address. And if you'd like to know what I do over on the Writecome site, if you want to go over to Writecome, that's WRITECOME.com, you'll find a lot of great free reports on the homepage. And as always, thanks for sharing your time again today. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like more from the Writecome.com podcast, be sure to subscribe now for more tips, tricks, and ideas you can use to make more money from your words. See you in the next episode.